let's have a look at the big boys and big girls news story of the day. Do you know what the big boys and big girls news story is of the day?
No. Oh, fuck's sake. Yes, the OCR. Oh my God. Like, I have seen people that know and understand how economics work just repeatedly banging their head against a wall because every time the OCR goes down, National do a fucking victory lap like they made that happen. And that it is some sign of a resurgent fucking economy. And they're all going, I feel like I'm going crazy because that's not how any of this works.
Okay. Are you okay? Do you want to have a little lie down?
No, let's fucking 0.25 down. Everyone buy another house. Go on.
'Tis the season to be jolly if you're a mortgage holder and
Yeah, you Grinch. 'Tis the season to be jolly.
And if you live under a bridge, no one cares.
Yeah, that's true.
an early Christmas present for retailers after the Reserve Bank's latest cut to the OCR. The rate's fallen to 2.25%, a 25 basis point cut this time. It's now at its lowest point in 3 years. Let's take a look at the OCR's movement over those years. It was last...
Aren't you just not looking forward to fucking Nicola Willis's victory lap? You know, it's
I
all
personally
about her.
did this.
Stable for any length of time in May 2023, sticking at 5.5% for more than 12 months. But since July 2024, as you can see, the rate's been dropping steadily. Explaining its call, the Reserve Bank said economic indicators are recovering and activity is expected to strengthen through 2026. Business correspondent Jason Walls joins us in a moment with analysis, but first, his report on how the news has been received.
Homes going under the hammer in Auckland this afternoon. Falling interest rates, increasing appeal.
It's really good at the moment because we can invest more.
I'll say something as well, and I'll show you it in a second. The thing about the 0.25, it kind of means nothing because it's like the news, and certainly Nicola Willis, I'm sure in a minute, it's going to be like, that's like everyone's got an extra $1 million. I'll show you what the difference 0.25 makes at the end of the story, just so we're all clear on what this does. Yeah. I'll show it to you.
I think the confidence is getting better now for the investors.
Many hoping for a signal of more cuts in the future as well. But the Reserve Bank today had other plans.
We have published a central projection for the official cash rate that would be consistent with the official cash rate being on hold through the course of 2026.
Translation:
I'm not really expecting another interest rate cut now. I think this is where the rate is going to be for the next year or so.
But there was good news for the wider economy.
We're not waiting for a recovery, it's happening right now.
The Reserve Bank's monetary policy statement showing strong signs of economic recovery.
But we're seeing it through consumer.
Do you think the government has any idea that there is Māori words outside the Reserve Bank of New Zealand? Because I thought that, like, David Seymour would have been along with the black Sharpie to get rid of those by now, but it's still there.
It's only when it's on the bottom, as all things Māori should be.
Fair enough.
So it's only when
Recovery.
you put the Māori at the top
Okay.
that people lose their fucking minds.
Gotcha.
We're seeing it through consumer spending picking up. We're seeing signs of the labour market stabilising and turning, employment picking up, hours worked picking up.
Our currency spiking against the Aussie dollar after today's statement. But it has been dropping since April's peak of 93.5 cents to 87.6 cents today. It's a similar story when comparing our dollar with the greenback. One New Zealand dollar is now worth almost 57 US cents. For those planning an overseas holiday this summer,
You're going to be picking a cheaper hotel, I would say, than otherwise be the case.
in Wellington, the government delighted with the economic outlook.
What they're forecasting is that this could potentially be the bottom of the interest rate reduction cycle.
You can hear when she's happy, eh? She said the dogs start to hear when she gets into those high whistle tones. It means that Nicola's happy. Nicola's happy when you hear the whistle tones.
Delighted with the economic outlook.
What they're forecasting is that this could potentially be the bottom of the interest rate reduction cycle, which would align with the view that we've reached the trough in the economy and we're now on the up.
Labor not as optimistic.
The Reserve Bank's doing all of the heavy lifting at the moment. The government doesn't have a credible plan to turn the economy round. This isn't going to do it. While lower interest rates are very welcome, it's going to need more from government, and they have no plan.
And why don't they just celebrate some good news for once?
Meanwhile, the outgoing Reserve Bank governor clearly hoping the end of the current run of cuts will bring some stability.
We're looking forward into next year. We want to be in a position where the Reserve Bank and monetary policy is off the front pages. Bring back boring.
Setting the stage for the new governor, Dr. Anna Bremen, to take the central bank's reins next week.
The thing about it is, this is some good news for some people. Now, obviously, the opposition is going to try and have a bit of a crack and try and downplay any good news by this government. That's what they do. I don't necessarily agree with it, but that's just the way it goes. And the government is going to try and highlight, put in neon lights, anything that's even slightly okay to make it great news. Because some people will be happy. It'll be a really small slice of people, because it'll be people who have mortgages that are due, right? Because lots of people are in 5-year plans or 4-year plans, then they're still paying older fees. And the people who won't be happy, though, are people who are saving. If you're an older person, you've sold your house, you're now living in a retired situation, and you're somewhat living off your savings or your savings interest, this will be bad for you. So for some people, it's a good news story. For many people, it's a bad news story, Chewie. What are your first thoughts?
It's great if you want to hang your entire economy off hoarding houses in a housing crisis. It's great for them. Can I just say that we should bookmark that part where Nicola is going, can't they just celebrate some good news for once? Just so when she's in opposition, we can use it against her. Because that's like, how do you think politics works? Do you expect the opposition to come out and go, oh, that Nicola Willis, what a financial economic powerhouse.
Trooper.
She's just
What a
turned
trooper.
it. We couldn't turn it around. We didn't know what to do. Is that what she's expecting? No, of course they're going to be more cautious about what they're saying. They're not going to be your cheerleaders, you numpty. But yeah, it's the idea that the government has had like all of this effect. Like I've said this when National were criticising Labor for the interest rates going up during and after COVID and all of that sort of stuff. I criticise them now. The government has an effect, but in a small trading nation, it has not all of the effect. You cannot take a victory lap on this. And as you said, Pat, this is bad for people with money and savings. This is bad if you've got, what do they call them? Bonds or something like that when you put it away?
Stocks and bonds.
Term deposits, that's the word I'm looking for. And the effect on people's mortgages, like they make it sound like, oh, you're going to have hundreds of extra dollars per week to spend.
Let's do that right now.
Let's have a look at that.
Okay, let's do that right now. So I've gone to ANZ, and the reason I've gone to ANZ is my understanding is they're the biggest home loan supplier in the country. Would it be fair to say, Chewie, I think most times I fix it's around 2 years, so it's probably about a 2-year rate, seems pretty fair. So we're going to go with the 2-year rate, which is a special interest rate. Some terms and conditions apply, but let's make it as attractive as possible at 4.49%. Now I'm putting into Mike Perra Mortgages. It's the one I always use. I like it actually. $500,000 loan. I mean, that's going to be low for some people. Like if you live in Auckland, but then if you live in Auckland, maybe you've got more of a deposit. $500,000 loan. So a $500,000 loan at that rate on ANZ right now, 4.49% is $584 per week at the minute. So that's what it is. So you don't ever get the full cut, but let's even be generous and say they give the full cut, which is 0.25%, which will take that down to 0.24. 4.24 would be the full amount. So when I hit enter, it'll tell us what it's going to be. It's going to be something, but what will it be? It is $567. So that's $17. So it's $17 a week. So it's a block of cheese a week. Now, it's not nothing, but Nicola Willis, can't they just be happy when there's good news? I mean, no one's going to turn away. Look, I'm just going to give you $17 cash a week just for it. Thanks, I'll take your $17. But it's not the, oh my gosh, everyone's now going to book a trip to Tahiti, which is sort of the vibe that the government is doing it. So on a $500,000 mortgage, it's about $17 a week difference. So when people talk about, changes in the interest rates and stuff, that's the amount. Yes, well, Michael's saying, we can finally afford butter. Yeah, butter's going to go into your mortgage payment. That's going to disappear.
Pat,
Chewie,
you've just looked at the example if you just had a mortgage on the house that you live in, right?
Yep.
What if you had 30 of them? Would that make a bigger difference? Is it a bigger number?
That'd be $510 a week, wouldn't it? Shall I work that out? 17 times 30. 17 times 30. Yeah, 510.
And as we know, as the OCR moves up and down, and this is good, it's moving down. I'm told that it's good. Everybody's rent goes down as well, doesn't it?
Downward pressure.
Famously putting their rents down when the OCR goes down. Like, it's just fucking nonsense. And this came part and parcel with another piece of egregious nonsense that always fucks me off. The Business Confidence Survey. What's the vibe? What are businesses feeling? Do you feel good? Do you feel like the government's special little boy? Are you confident? You don't need to back it up with anything. You don't need to tell us why you're confident. We know why you're confident. It's because Team Blue is in the government. That's when you're always mummy and daddy's confident little business boys. But they crow about that as well. Like, I don't care about the Business Confidence fucking survey. Where's the Consumer Confidence Survey? How about you go and ask people in a Pack and Save car park how confident they feel before they go into the Pack and Save? And then you ask them again when they come out of the Pack and Save. How confident do you feel about your place in the economy? Because that'd be a different survey.
We're going to go with Anurin Hunt. Very good. Very, very good comment. So there you go. You've got an extra $510 a week, and that extra $510 can buy their 31st home. So very, very good. Very, very good point. Let's also have a look at something off Big Herald now to do with that exact question that you had, Chewie, about homeowners. Let's have a look just quickly at National Party homeowners.
This haircut.
Sound.
The combined 379.
Here we go.
A New Zealand Herald investigation has revealed MPs across the country hold a combined $379 million worth of property. It's an average of $3 million for each of the 123 sitting MPs. Topping the list was National MP Suze Redmond, whose property portfolio is worth $24 million. Close behind is the PM at 15.2. And third place, National's Barbara Kruger with $14.6 million in property assets.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's some big ramifications for democracy, for policy making, for housing justice, for the trust of voters in their representatives, because this really shows that we have a parliament of a very rich, average $3 million in property each MP, and it might explain why we don't have some big changes to affordable housing over every parliament, essentially. Capital gains taxes, wealth taxes, they're being configured, they're being drawn up by the people that own these farms. So yes, farms are being made exempt. Family homes are being made exempt from a capital gains tax under Labour's policy. I think there is an argument that MPs have a self-interest in every policy they make. And that's why I think this piece of investigation by the Herald's Chris Knox is really important. These details should be known by every renter in the country. First home buyer that's struggling for their deposit, those living in damp housing. This kind of lays out why there is a problem and it's not really being fixed.
Of course. So, when a politician gets rid of the bright line test, or when a politician says you can sell your home within that time period and not pay it, and they've got $15.2 million worth of remember as well, Prime Minister's just sold about 4 properties. So that's 15.2 million after the sale of about 4 properties.
Yeah.
So probably at the start of his term, $17-18 million worth of property. So it's absolutely a conflict of interest. It is absolutely potentially needs an eye looked over that politicians are passing laws that make it easier for them to make money off their investments and assets. Absolutely, that's dodgy as all hell, Chewie.
Do you know what I'm going to mention, Pat?
No.
Do you know I've solved this problem?
Ah, yes, I do know what you're going to mention.
No MP should have investments, because the job that they do is automatically a conflict of interest if they know what they do affects their investments. So choose to be an MP or choose to be investment portfolio guy.
Or at the very least,
they could trust anybody.
Yeah, but they could recuse themselves. That would be at the very least. And if they had to recuse themselves, well, that just means though you're never going to get. I'm not disagreeing with your theory, but it means you're never going to get anyone that's like owns a business or anything left over at all. I don't disagree with the premise of what you're saying about how do we make it even, but they could recuse themselves. So therefore, if they had to recuse themselves, those 3 or 4 MPs can't vote on that, and they don't just get the vote allocated. They can't vote, which means they don't have as many votes to pass law, which means they're not going to be able to do so much self-interested stuff.
If they can't vote, then why the fuck are they there? They're
for
there
one
to
thing.
Vote.
Yeah, but for one policy. I mean, that's what happens.
Like the whole thing. Like they hide behind, oh, it's in a family trust or it's in a blind trust. I don't really know what's in it. You know, it's stacked full of fucking houses, mate. Like you talk about them recusing themselves when so many of our MPs are up to their eyeballs in fucking property that all have to recuse themselves. Like, it is just like, if you want to be an MP, it's the call of public service. You want to improve New Zealand. You want to do things for whoever you want to do them for. Like, is that not enough of a draw? If you're wealthy and you have all of these assets and that sort of thing,
and wealthy and sorted,
and you know that you're coming in because you're entitled to your entitlements, and that knighthood looks really good and the free travel forever, that looks all very good. Just fucking sell them. Just show me that you are more interested in governing for the betterment of this country, not your back fucking pocket.
Yeah.
It's a pit of people feathering their own nests, and it just means I don't trust any of them. And because that's shown by where we are now in historical data.
And what's even a worse look than all of that is a prime minister who heads a government who didn't sell his properties before becoming prime minister, but changed the law and then immediately sold properties. That looks even worse. Like, if he had sold a couple of them before the bright line went away and he paid bright line, or whatever, but as soon as they changed the law, one could almost argue he wanted to get that law changed so he could sell his properties. Certainly looks that way. And remember, I haven't got my thing. I haven't got my talk. I'm going to bring my thing up about selling things.
Like, you know, my fucking theory about that is that he changed the law so he could sell his properties to get the big tax-free cash injection. So he's got lots and lots of liquid cash so he can put it into private health care, which is what his government is setting it up. It's stripping public health.
It's really.
I feel like Charlie Day with the pinboard and the red threads in that, but it's just too convenient. The government's stacked full of people investing in houses and public health care, and they're not doing anything to solve a housing crisis, and they're stripping the public health assets.
So I just laid out that thing about how they changed the law and then he sold his properties. Talking about, I'm not saying he did anything legal or corrupt, but it certainly has an appearance of a certain way. But this is the Prime Minister, though. Remember this. This is the Prime Minister before he was Prime Minister, talking about the appearance of things.
Well, for the very reason that it actually leads to perceptions of bias, rightly or wrongly. I just say to you, that's the perception. Whether that's real or not doesn't really matter.
So the perception of passing that law is that it was passed so he could sell those houses off to not pay any tax. That's the perception. And pre-Prime Minister Christopher Luxon was like, if it's a perception, if it's the appearance of it, it might as well be it. Well, we got to keep that same standard for yourself then, Mr. Prime Minister.
And look, I want to be fair because I am scrupulously fair. I am not targeting this at one side of the house, although one side of the house definitely has a whole lot more than the other side of the house. I am saying this to all lawmakers. Whether consciously or unconsciously, if you are investing in something that you are trying to dilly-dally around capital gains tax and all of that sort of stuff, you will be aware that it has an effect on how much money you will have.
Yeah.
Like, I can't fix it. Well, I tried to, but nobody wants to listen to Chewie. No one wants me to install me as like dear leader. Like I wouldn't want dear leader. I'd want a different name. But I'll do it.
Yeah. But you're right. No one wants to listen to you. I'm not listening to you. I'm listening to ZB in these headphones. That's what I'm listening to at the moment. So it's good actually. Marcus Slush, he's not too bad.
But Pat's radicalizing himself. But yeah, I know Marcus Slush is the only one that wouldn't radicalize you.